The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Can we get much higher? So high.
It's a great day here at KEKCast. I'm your host, the KEKFILA, and today I have a long-awaited episode. I haven't done an episode for like, I don't know, forever. And with that, I have Josh Oniate, Saucy. How you doing today, Josh?
Chillin'. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for asking. And as a nice special guest today, we have Ernesto, aka Wraith Talks.
Sure. Yep. What's up, everybody? I'm doing amazing today. I'm excited to be here, honestly, and chat, have some good conversation.
Good, great. Yeah, I'm ready to see the conversations down in the comments. And with that, generally, today is January 5th of 2024, the new year, a new year of One Piece. We are now officially over a year into this card game, and it's been a ride. So yeah.
Game hasn't died yet. You know,
good sign. That's a good sign.
That's live.
That's above average, you know, for most card games.
Yeah, we made it there, guys.
Yeah. Today, I want to talk about a few topics, which is going to be things like nationals, the new ranked queue, whatever you guys want to talk about. But we're going to get to know Ernesto a bit. You know, his channel's really grown the past 6 months. And kind of get to know him a little bit better just from this perspective. And that's kind of like my main goal of the podcast. Is it's not really news based, right? I don't know. Did you ever have a chance to like listen to like half a podcast or like 10 minutes of a podcast yet, Ernesto?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I listened to like 15-20 minutes of the cross one.
Yeah. I really try not to like do any news because there's already a lot of content on news. And it's not
like the main source.
Yeah, and it's not fun for
other
me.
People.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't love news, even though it, you know, gets the views, but I try to focus on the people, and that's you today. You are the people. And with that, I guess I let you introduce yourself. Can I ask, you can say no. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 25. I'm 25 years old.
25. Nice. So great. You're still born in the 90s. That you qualify. Josh, you're born in the 80s.
No, what are you talking about? I'm 21.
Yeah, oh, my bad.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He looks amazing.
What a zoomer.
90, what is that, 1999? I don't know.
That's the 2024, bro. That's 23. Yeah, he's young. He's young at heart. But with that,
35 years young. Let's go, boys.
Ernesto, I guess you live in like the California area. We're in California. Like
NorCal. So like Bay Area, East Bay.
What's like a local shop you usually try to like attend if you go to locals?
Yeah. There's so the city I live in is called Brentwood, and so there's a Games of Brentwood. It's like 15 minutes down, and then there's a couple other ones scattered here that I'll visit occasionally. But yeah, I just usually tend to go to the one that's like, you know, really close to me. It's good competition, so no need to travel any further to, you know, practice.
Yeah,
cool, man. I was gonna ask you actually because I'm from LA myself, but I'm more like in the San Fernando Valley area, and I find myself heading like on this east side a lot, but I don't think our paths ever really crossed. And yeah, I'm curious how the community is out there in NorCal for you.
Honestly, it was slow to start, but as the game's been growing, like a lot of more people are getting into it. And so recently we've been having a lot of people over here find success in tournaments. And so like kind of our scene is growing, and the majority of our top players over here are kind of like we're in a group now, and we're, you know, just trying to make each other better. So it's been going well the last like 2 months, I'd say. Yeah.
Great.
Bro, that's amazing, man. It's honestly like the fastest way to get better at the game is just to work together, you know, and then just grind it out.
Yeah.
Gotta love it, man.
Yeah,
gotta love it.
That. Yeah, with that too, I guess I wanted to ask kind of about your origins of playing One Piece. When did you actually, before we talk about One Piece, let's talk about anything. What was Ernesto before One Piece card game? What were you doing? Were you playing any video games?
Oh yeah.
Were you working?
Yeah, no. So I've been working as far as job real quick, just construction my whole life. And that's why I've been I have a new job that's coming up, and it's in that field, but just I'm not doing the hard work anymore. So I'm glad, you know. And then as far as like hobbies and stuff like that, yeah, before One Piece, I'm a big gamer, mega gamer. I have two older brothers. One is 8 years older. One is 7 years older. So when they were getting all the new stuff, I'm a super little kid playing all the new stuff, right? Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, like from the beginning. So that developed into my brother's got a PC. Okay, they introduced me to WoW. They introduced me to all these games, and so just I've been a gamer, super gamer since a little kid, right? World of Warcraft, MMOs, League of Legends, anything you can think of. Honestly, I've probably played it. So yeah, I just a big gamer, just love games, and always been just about my games, honestly. And then card games we've collected in the past, but never played like competitively at all.
Oh.
I played Hearthstone the season it came out, and I hit one. So like, when I'm processing mechanic skills in card games, like it makes sense in my head. So like that's where I'm like proficient at, right? Other players don't always have that, and so that's why it was easy translation for me to start playing this game competitively. But yeah, I think this.
Did you have any other history of playing any other like tabletop card games in the past, or is this like your very first?
Casually, like the games we would collect, we would play.
Yeah.
So like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Duel Masters, just a bunch of like we've collected everything, but I never actually like got into I'm gonna make a deck. What's the meta? Let's play this and that. It was always just casual, like you know, I'm gonna build a really bad deck and play your really bad deck, you know, like that.
Then how did that transition into One Piece? How did you first hear about the One Piece card game?
Right, and why One Piece of all games? There's so many card games out there. I'm so curious.
Hype.
Yeah, so a couple years back, I started a small business because I loved collecting the cards. So I started a small business to where I would sell singles. So I would buy Magic, Digimon, I would buy everything and just sell singles, open packs and sell singles, just to help not only my local community with cards that they needed, but like obviously I was trying to aspire to be like a big shop. That didn't go too well for me. So like I kind of stopped doing that stuff, but I played Digimon and I enjoyed it. You know, it was fun. And then my everyone around me, my friends, my brothers, all big One Piece fans, and so my younger brother actually noticed, and he's like, "Yo," because my younger brother is really into like Legends of Runeterra, Hearthstone, so like he's a really good player at those games. I never really like got into it besides that one season in Hearthstone, and so he showed me like, "Oh, like look at this game, like we should try it out," because he's more into online card games, but like he obviously basically had the same. Yeah, and so all my brothers are talking about it, my friends are talking about it. Like, let's get into it. I've never watched the show, but I'm like, okay, I'm down. You know, I'm always down to do stuff with them. Right? It's fun. It's fun hanging out with your friends and doing stuff together. And so it just developed like that. So they're really big One Piece fans, and so from that, we just started playing the game, and slowly it just became an obsession.
Yeah, man, I hear that, bro. I mean, you're definitely you're not the only one on that boat. I didn't know anything about One Piece too before the card game. I just love card games, so I get you.
To kind of relate a little bit, my brother dragged me to this card game. He's been a big One Piece lover. He's like watched anime twice over, right? I never watched a single episode before the card game. And he's always dragged me into card games, and I'm playing WoW, and I'm like, oh, I don't have time for these card games of yours. He dragged me to a tournament, and now look at me, I'm making content. You know, this is my part-time job is playing One Piece. So
it's a wild ride. We're enjoying it.
Brothers bring people in, dude. Like that's just that literally is a thing. You know, it's just my older brother who does that, and he still plays the card game. You know, and and it's been a good ride, especially if you're able to have a little bit of success in this card game. It propels it so much, because even if like local success or a tournament success, all you have to do is be top 10%. And you know, with the amount of people in this card game, I do want to say, listen, respectfully, there are a lot of people that play this card game. There's a lot of people that aren't very good at the basics of this card game, right? So when you go to a tournament and you get top 10%, it's not the most difficult thing, and the pricing for that is ridiculous. You know, like when you get top 10% and you're selling cards for $500 plus,
insane, right? I mean, One Piece is the most lucrative card game I've ever personally played, and I think that's definitely one of the reasons why I kind of like continue to play the game. There's definitely like a passion in it as well for me. Like, it's just so enjoyable, and I don't know, like there's something about this game that's just like something I enjoy more than any other card game I've ever played. I don't know
Yeah,
if you feel the
that's
same
funny you
way.
say that because so for the first set, I didn't really play the game. I just bought a couple packs, didn't really play it. Set 2, we said we were gonna play the game, so I was like, all right, guys, like let's make some decks, let's actually play. Like we said we were gonna play, and then I entered an online tournament with Kinemon because I looked at the tier list. I'm like, oh, Kinemon looks like a fun deck to play. You know, I like resting. I like color green. It's my favorite color. I'm like, I'm gonna play the deck. First treasure cup, I go X2. I bubble out of top 32, I think, and I still end up getting a treasure cup chopper. First tournament ever. First tournament, I'm like, wow, this card's worth a lot. I paid $30 to get in. My participation is this. I just want a card that's worth
you pull a
$200+.
You're like 10 times your.
I was like, yeah, no, I was like, whoa. So instantly, I'm like, you know, like let me tell my brother about this. My brother's just as good. We could be winning this together. And so, from that one tournament is what really like locked me into the game. Just seeing how if I want to collect, these cards are worth so much, and even if I want to sell them, I can profit this much, right? And so it's like. It was just so helpful making that decision on like, am I going to play this game or not? I was like, oh yeah, it just solidified like, oh yeah, let's continue playing this game
for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that,
that's great. And you know, I guess there's early treasure cups, like because I had some success in those as well, right? And that propelled a lot of things. And then all of a sudden, you see a lot of people becoming like content creators. And I want to say the thing is, when you do so well, all you want to do is really get better, so you can just get better, right? Like lose less games. Because I gotta say, there's one thing that kind of sucks about this game, and that's losing. There has to be a winner and a loser, right? And it's okay to lose, but sometimes it can suck, especially if you're too result oriented. I find try not to be too result oriented, just kind of like, oh, that is what it is, and I did my best I can. But
no, that makes sense.
I'm sure a lot of us have like X2'd out of a tournament and go, oh, yep, I did something else because things just didn't go my way, or I didn't plan correctly, or I didn't do the right thing, you know. So, but the amount of people trying to get better is actually astounding to me. And the thing is, there's a lot of people trying to teach it as well that really don't have any. You know, they're not. I don't think they're good enough to teach. Right? That's basically what it is. Like you can get free advice from anybody, right? And so
100%.
The amount of like people looking to look for good coaching is insane, and the amount of people looking to coach that should be coaching isn't very high. Right? It's really tough out here, and I know people that are coach and they don't do things I think they should do, right? As far as coaching, I don't like coaching. I don't like to coach.
Like, it really takes a special kind of person to be able to do those things, because you can't just be like a good player. You have to be a good player and also a good coach. You know, it's like a skill set that you have to have.
Yeah.
And what's happening right now, I think, especially with like YouTube content, and I think this is in part why your channel has grown so much in like the last 5 months, is because there's like a real hunger for like the people to find like good content out there, and there's just not enough out there. I don't know how you feel about that, and you know, your process as to how you're growing your own channel, but you know, I'd love to hear that from you.
No, yeah, I 100% agree. I agree. I feel like the card game is so new, right? And you know, you see somebody do a good idea in content, and then people will jump on that. I think the main thing we see is just news, like Kek was talking about earlier. Something comes out and is brand new. Everyone on Twitter jumps on it. Everyone posts the same image. Same thing with videos. Something new comes out, a new deck, a new this, everyone jumps on it, and I do that as well. But what I have that others don't is I create on top of that my own ideas, my own videos. Like I upload every single day. And so one video out of the week being news is going to be for the people that want to see that. Cool. You know, they're going to get it on time. If I have to turn out a video in one day because you know, news is coming out tonight, that's what I'm uploading in the morning, or sometimes I'll double upload and upload that same day. They're getting their news. And then on top of that, people that like to see better, good content, like just in general, just like something more fruitful with a little more substance, right? you know, that's where my ideas come in. And I do run the channel with one of my partners. His name's Jim. He's just like more of an ideas guy, gives me ideas and just helps me when he can, right? But like, I'll give you an example. We have a local series where every week we put up a poll on YouTube, and the viewers vote what deck we're going to play that week. So it'll get like 2,000-3,000 votes every week. The leader wins, and then we have to create a deck, test it, make sure it's good, and then we take it to our locals, and then we play with that deck. And so what's
this week's leader? Just curious.
Our locals was yesterday. Sabo had just won, so the new poll's up right now. Sabo video will be out Saturday. Sabo video. It's a good one. It's a good one. But yeah, so like that right there, that came out of just us, one of our ideas, and now I'm starting to see other creators kind of you know, follow that same pattern, because it's, you know, probably one of our best performing type of videos. Just something like that, right? So something as small as an idea, that people like to see is what just attracts more people. And then obviously the consistency. Like I'm really, first of all, I'm humble, and I just put my head down and work. So it is what it is. Like the success is there just because, you know, I'm putting in the work.
Yeah, you got to grind it out.
I think that's absolutely one thing you said is the hardest thing is being consistent. And if anyone hasn't known, his channel is AwakenedTCG, and essentially on his YouTube, I think I remember watching it when there was less than like 50 subs, right? And I was like, this guy's making content. He's posting in these channels every day. He's just making a video every day. So he's actually made a video every day for like since July 27th. And you know, insane. That's really tough. If you've ever tried to make a video 7 days in a week, 1 day
I have tried.
It's like
I didn't last long.
On day 7, you're like, is there a day off? Like this, I'm out of ideas. Like I am actually out of ideas. And people start in the comments, this and that. But you know, even with like, you know, this and that, it built up, and then I gotta say the one thing that really propelled it, because you were able to get like a respectable amount of subscribers, absolutely, and then you did really good in a tournament, which you played Green Purple Doe-Fee. That was before the Whitebeard ban, and you played bins. That was your big thing there. You had your bins in there. You could play Zoro, but I guess the bins was the was the goat. But yeah, you played well, you drew well, I think, and you had like an interview, and it's, you know, it's really funny you say you're so humble. You are humble, right? But I want to say you're humble, but it's really funny. I always like to say I'm so humble, but that doesn't sound very humble to say that.
Humble people don't say they're humble.
That's not very humble. But like you say it because I'm telling you you're humble, because you are humble. But it just sounds so funny. It sounds so funny when someone says it out loud, like, "Hey, I'm so humble."
But I mean, I think the biggest thing is like people will be able to see it. People can see it, right? So it's like, yeah, I don't gotta say it, but you know, people will just see it. But one thing about that was, I feel like a lot of the times when people win tournaments, like there's a lot of eyes on you, and if you're a content creator, you have to kind of take advantage of that. You know, I feel like a lot of the times players win and they don't do anything, especially if they're content creators. I feel like the thing I did was like, I had so much to do that. I had like 2 parties that day. I was literally just playing that whole day, right? And so like my whole day was backed up, and instead of just going out and doing these things, I was like, okay, I have an opportunity here. I did an interview with Eggman. One Piece Top Decks hit me up, yo, can you write an article? I started writing the article. I started getting hit up by other people, you know, just making connections with other people in the community that already had a little bigger followings than me, just so I can have that connection and to help me, right? So I played my cards right from that win, and that's kind of why like you saw like such a big growth from that point forward, because it was 3 months to hit 1,000, and then in these last 2 months I've gone 2,000, right? So it's like double in half the time.
Video idea. Okay, this is for you, right? What to do once you win a tournament. What you should do right away, like as in step 1, step 2, step 3. Like,
as an aspiring content creator, that's amazing. I can do that.
That's great. I mean, I'm sure most good players have thought about it, right? And it doesn't end right when you win. You should, great. Go celebrate tomorrow, right? You're still on the clock. Okay, this is now like it's kind of funny. It's an opportunity missed. Right. And you didn't miss that opportunity. And Cross had the same thing. Cross took that same opportunity when he won his, right? And it's really interesting. The only person I know that has slowly gained that capital right, over not winning a tournament, just like doing well in tournaments is Will, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of a casual gain for Will, right? It was really interesting over time. And you know, Will's where's Will's where he's at now. It's great, and he's able to monetize that. And it took a lot of time, but you don't see Will like in a, you know, doing it. What if he did do all these things? What if he did all that on top of it? How much bigger would that be? And
yeah, he'd probably be like 10K, 12K, like if he capitalized on content. But I mean,
I'm doing the best I can with him, but it's hard. You know, some people don't do that well. You know, I think you did it really well.
But I mean, so like you see Will, he probably has his job, he has a Patreon, so you know he has all these other things where like, you know, it could take up your time. Me, like,
well, can I tell you a little bit about Will since we're just here, like having a good time? You know, Will listen to this. He's actually super fun, nice guy to meet, right? This is his full-time job. He doesn't work.
Oh, nice.
You know, this is his full-time job.
I
wish
he's so good at the game, man.
He didn't. Well,
no knock on his ability as a player.
There are some secrets that, you know, he can't reveal why he's so good at the game, but I would like to say it's card game instinct. Okay. Card game instinct.
He's an amazing player.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I mean, it's a translatable skill. You play Magic the Gathering, you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you play Hearthstone. Like all these things convert into One Piece because there's a, you know, a sense of like card advantage and different types of things that you can carry over from one game to the other. But taking it back to what we're kind of talking about with like great players not capitalizing on their wins and things of that nature, I think a lot of these good players really don't have the drive to grind it out as much as you have. And I think that's a huge testament to you. I'm very curious, you know, what drives you to grind it out as much as you do? Like what makes you like in the morning wake up and be like, all right, today I'm going to make a video and this is what we're going to do and we're going to finish it and it's going to get up tonight. Like it's happening.
To be honest, I was going through some hardships like earlier, like late last year. And, you know, I wasn't in the position I wanted to be in my life. And my discipline was like at an all-time low, looking for a job. And it was a bunch of things that I was just going through. And then, actually, funny enough, I had a breakup, and I had always aspired to make content, right? So it's like since 2016 when I graduated high school, I streamed, made different type of content, and it just never worked because I wasn't consistent. But I knew I always had something, right? And so I went through my breakup, and then I started playing One Piece more, and like because of that, I wasn't in the situation I was in. I wasn't like in the best position to make content just because let's just say I couldn't. And so when those when I was released from the shackles, I was able to really explore where I was really able to explore making content, and it just kind of lined up, right? I was able to make content on a really fun game, and it kind of just developed into this relationship where like the first 2 months was like, oh, I'm excited. And then now there's points where it's like I may not be as excited as I was at the start, but the discipline's already there. I'm gonna wake up. I already have ideas written down because I write them down at the same time every day, or when something pops up in my head, I'm gonna write that down. When it's time to make a video, I go to my vision board. You know, I see, okay, I have these ideas written out. What can I explore today? And then so everything's on a schedule for me. So it's like at this point, it's more of like just getting good ideas out there because I know I'm gonna get the work done. But yeah, the early drive just came from being in a rough situation, and then getting out of it. It just gave me like a new sense of like, oh, maybe I can pursue my passion, because this content creation has always been a passion of mine. And so just being able to explore that without anything holding me back is definitely what gave me like the drive at the start and the push to do something like this.
That's beautiful, man. I think that's a huge testament to your work, and it really shows like people respond to like good quality content, and that explains why you've blown up as much as you have. And it's kind of funny how you say like in the beginning, like you had to have this like life-changing event to essentially happen to you to get you to get going. But now it's kind of like you build up this habit, and now you just have this amazing drive to keep it pushing. And
now what I see is like I I want this, like you said, Will, this is his full-time job. That's definitely a goal of mine in the future if possible, right? So I know in the long run, YouTube definitely with this card game getting bigger, if I just play my cards right with YouTube, it could potentially be a full-time job. And so that is what's pushing me now. It's like, you know, I would love to do this full time. And so if I can ever have the opportunity, I'm going to take it. And so right now, the steps I need to take is just to keep being consistent for my viewers, for everybody that likes to watch my videos, and just to give back to the community, right? You know, people that support me, I'm going to support right back, you know, with whether that's shout outs on Twitter, making collab videos, whatever it is, right? And so I'm trying to grow not only me, but the whole scene, just to benefit the whole community that's playing One Piece.
Yeah,
Love it.
And then one thing I'd love to give you advice on, as far as, you know, monetizing, you know, kind of your channel a little bit more. I think what you got going, one video a day of YouTube is really good, but there might be, you can do that on top of, right, possibly other things that can maybe monetize you. It's really crazy how much people will care about you and like you, and they just want to be able to support what you're doing. So I do want to actually lean more toward Patreon for you, right? If I was like in someone's shoes, be like, oh, what would this do? What value would that bring? And basically, it might be able to bring some sort of value for the patrons, knowing that they're supposed to be able to support you, and maybe you can literally have like a little bit of like it's so simple, dude. Like just a, hey, thank you for all my patrons. It shows all your patrons' names at the end of every video, right? And the thing is, ends up being more interaction through a Patreon, because they want their voice to be kind of heard. And sometimes that gets hard because they literally give you suggestions, or they'll ask you questions through there. And there's already an outlet for that, because the thing is, it's not a competition. Like Will's patrons are Cross's patrons. Cross's patrons could be your patrons. Like they're all kind of intermingle, because they want that content, and they want to support you so they can get that daily content. And no one's putting out daily content like you. And if there was a way to support more daily content, if there was like, well, is there going to be an improvement? If like there's going to be an improvement, it's not going to get, you know, it's not like it's bad. It's good, right? But like it can't get like worse, right? If that's like if it's somewhere good, right? It can only get better. So that's my suggestion.
Okay. That's a great idea, man. And I think at this point, you have such a following. You have people that are invested in you as a person, in your success. I think if you just made like a video and like, just be who you are. You're a real person. You're very modest. And just tell them the situation. Like, hey, man, like, I love you guys. I want to make more stuff. But you know what? The situation is like, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this more if I have a full-time job. And you know, if you want to support me, you know, I'd really appreciate it if you guys, you know, contribute whatever you can to my Patreon. I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, and the thing is, the Patreon can absolutely bring value to them. And I've always said, don't do anything for free if you're good at something, right? Don't do that for free if you're good at it. And if what that is just brings value, I've thought about making my own Patreon for myself, and the value is more like, hey, I'll just do my own videos, and
I do free stuff all the time. What are you saying, man?
I know. I want to do. I'm thinking about making a chicken sandwich one, where I eat a chicken sandwich on video, and that's the value they get out of watching the Patreon, but they know it supports my other videos. Right.
Yeah, that's value right there.
And the thing is, if that's like $50 a month that comes in, that's $100 a month that comes in. Right, that at least gets you kind of started, where at least it's paying for itself. You know, I can at least afford those chicken sandwiches that I'm shoveling down my mouth every time I make a chicken sandwich video. Okay, just a small thing. That sounds silly, but then what if you actually put something that's actually value to their life, right? And it's kind of crazy. Will the Wind's Patreon, that grew from $500 to $5,000 in a few months, and that's because we made videos that provided value. And it was exactly, I don't know if you saw it recently. Probably, I don't know if you did. Enel's video was Saucy. I think I linked it to you. That's the same video we do on Will's Patreon, but I decided to do it free with Saucy because Saucy's good at what he does. I love Saucy, you know, and it wasn't like a gift to him. I wanted to talk about Enel with him, and he got like 60 subs just from that one video, and he's like, yeah, dude, like super happy.
My channel like 25% in like 3 days. Insane. Because like I said, people are hungry for quality content, and they're willing to pay money for that type of thing, you know?
And then even better, go ahead, sorry.
What?
No, go ahead. I interrupted you.
I'm not saying that, you know, you need to necessarily put it behind a paywall and whatnot, but you know, if people love your stuff and you have a Patreon, they will support you, man. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I always get messages, and even till this day, like I'll get messages like, "Oh, you doing coaching? Like, hey, like,
That's work.
can you help me out?" And it doesn't. Those DMs don't stop, and I love them. And I'll always tell them like, "Oh, if you need some quick tips, just hit me with the question. I'll respond to you right away, and I'll let you know, you know, some quick tips or whatever." But as far as like, yeah, you're saying like it could add value. What I'm kind of leaning towards is once I do start my new job and get my kind of set schedule, I want to dedicate like an hour, if I can, maybe two, to start streaming on YouTube and Twitch. And so I think what I will end up doing, I'll definitely give the Patreon a visit and do some more research. But I would love to just start streaming instead, and then that way people can sub to me on Twitch and be members on YouTube, which is kind of like the same thing. And you know, I can provide them with streams.
Do you like streaming a lot? Like, listen, I have my stream. I was streaming a bit just for One Piece, only for my webcam tournaments. That's the only time I stream, basically. And to be honest, anytime I stream outside of that, I get bored. Every few hours I'm playing a game, I want to go take a nap. I want to go do something else. I have to go do something else, and I lose viewership and I lose momentum, and it doesn't feel good to me, right? And I don't know how that works for you. And the thing is, streaming it, 1 or 2 hours a day. All these streamers, they stream, all day long because that's how they get their concurrent viewers.
I freaking get you, man. There was a time hard. I was like hard playing League of Legends, and I was like streaming like a job, like 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and literally did this for like 3 months straight. Like when I first started, there's a new streamer too. It was a girl. She was like pretty cute. So I'm like, okay, she's my rival now. In my head, I'm like, this is my rival. We're on Facebook streaming. I'm like, I'm gonna beat her. 3 months passed, dude. She got like 2,000 followers. You know how much I got? 186. And I'm like, you know what?
That's funny you say that, like in your head, like, oh, that was my rival. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I rarely watch other people's One Piece content, just because I'm pretty busy, and a lot of the times I don't want to like steal other people's ideas. So I rarely watch content, but my partner, he does watch a little more content, and so like he's like, oh, this is our rival right here. They kind of started at the same time as us. It's them. Like they have more subs than us. I'm like, who is that? I've never even heard of them. And he showed me. I'm like, oh, okay. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, no, it does give you a little drive. So I think one time I tweeted out like, oh, next year I want to be the biggest One Piece card game YouTuber, and then so everyone instantly was like, oh, good luck. Like I'm right there with you. Like let's it's healthy competition for just the content creators, right? So
but go back to like the Twitch thing. Do you see? I mean, does that sounds like more work, right? And I'm more worried about like sustaining just you being able to do that, right? Because like I went part-time in my real job because I needed time for working with Will. But the only reason I can do that because we're making enough money, right? In order for me to support me so I can edit for him, do these sort of things. And, if that's possible, like the amount of work you have to put in versus how much you get out of it times advertisement times demand, right? So what exactly is that thing? And if regardless of whatever it is, do whatever is fun for you, right? Whatever's the fun thing for you. And that the thing is, I thought about streaming for that, and I found out streaming isn't that fun for me,
Also, like, if you're gonna be on there playing anyway, might as well, try to get something out of it, right? You could cross stream from like YouTube Live now and put it on Twitch and put it on Facebook and do it all at the same time, and maybe you will get like 1 or 2 people interested and follow you from that.
I love how we're giving Ernesto advice when he should be giving us all advice.
I know,
like, hey, listen, man.
We know all these things. We're just too lazy to do it.
Can you give us an Uno reverse card real quick? Actually, can you give us an Uno reverse card?
Right. Uno, here you go. To go back to your question though, Kek, about like if it is really a good idea for me. I started off with streaming. back in 2016, I would stream different games and stuff like that, and I do enjoy it. I feel like before though, I didn't really have the knowledge on how to go about it. So I'd stream to 5 viewers. It'd be, my friends, people I know, right? 6 viewers, 10 viewers. Maybe I'd get a lucky 15 viewer stream, and just it's harder when there's no interaction with the chat. I have when Lost Ark came out, it's a MMO. I played that heavily, and I was streaming that like 8 hours a day for months. So it's like I definitely have the resilience to do something like that. But for this card game in particular, I've done test streams before where like I test a deck for an hour, I've tested a deck for 2 hours, and I'll get anywhere from 30 to 50 viewers, and it's interaction the whole time. They're telling me we're having a good time, and I do enjoy that time. Granted, my longest stream has been like 2 hours, I think. And as far as streaming tournaments go, like I've done that before. I'm never doing that again. I don't know what it is.
Wait, tell me.
It's the subconscious knowing that there's people there, whether the chat is there or not. Just knowing, like, it's subconsciously I'll like check, like, see if they're saying anything right mid game, and I'm supposed to be focused in on what I'm playing, and it's just there, right?
Do you have chat open during game?
I have 4, and it's distracting.
Okay. Yeah. No, I had to take it, and the thing is, I will tell you this: like, I'm not gonna call the police on you, right? They tell you don't have chat because it's considered coaching, right? And the thing is, like, people will like backseat game, be like, "Hey, that's wrong." And I think it's important, and this is how I treat it, right? Because it's how I'm able to do it. I pretend I'm not streaming when I'm playing my game. I have it all set up. I pretend I'm not streaming. There is no chat. I might get like a notification. I literally ignore it. And it was really funny. One time, I think Eggman hosted me in the middle of my stream, and it was just like, that, like, there's like a guy screaming like oh, like something like that. It was like that, like 15 seconds long. I'm like, I forgot that was my my host music. So inappropriate, like the worst timing ever. But yeah, I pretend it's not there anymore. And then in between games, I look at chat, and that helps me because that's actually the hardest part of a tournament. In between games, fucking sucks. Like, people like get so bored. People
finish early. You're like, damn,
people like go lay down, they fall asleep by accident, and they go to their next game. They're not even focused. But if I'm just sitting here talking to chat, like, it's super entertaining. I feel I'm always blessed every time I live stream a tournament. That's what I usually get all my viewers.
You have a real skill to be able to like stream live to like thousands of people and just be like, turn it off. 100. Like, for me, I'm like, if I know I'm being recorded, I don't know. It's like it's a mind game thing. Like, I'm just thinking about the people watching this stream, and it just like drives me crazy, man. And I'm
like that too, because for me it's like I want to like cater to the viewers, like they're watching me, so like I want to be able to like just not have a completely boring stream where I'm not like just talking to them. I will say though, real quick, every time I've streamed and I've played a tournament, I've dropped. I've done so bad.
It's kind of gonna happen. Like, I've dropped like in mid stream before, but I stream every tournament, so like, half the ones I have to drop and half the ones I get, like, I'll go X1, X2, and I'm like, oh, well, that was fucking hype, right?
Yeah, and then the one tournament I don't stream, I won, so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna stream.
Well, at least you recorded it, right?
Yeah, so, I was recording everything. Yeah, you have to for online matches, like, you have to.
Oh my god, yeah, believe me, So it's actually really fun. That's actually how I got into YouTube to begin with. One Piece is that I kind of wanted to encapsulate those games. I wanted to say, oh, this is what happened in these games, and I can go back right now and watch it. Even though there's like, 20 to 200 views per video, like, it's not a lot of views. I don't care about that. It's for me later. That's how I kind of got started with it. And of course, if I go like X4 in a tournament, I'm not going to post a single game. I'm probably going to just do one single video where I'm just going over what happened.
One game,
right?
One game.
Yeah. Like, I've
also, it definitely helps when in case somebody does the old gum webcam out of nowhere. Whoo.
I'm waiting for one of those, dude. They're too afraid around me. It's really funny because they know me. Every single person I play against, they know me, and so they're like, oh shit, how you doing, dude?
I guess that's a good sign, right? I'm sure Awaken would. have everybody.
I mean,
like,
people probably
recognizing
show up to you, Wraith, and they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, I've seen your video." Maybe the next time you do a tournament, they'll 100% have that. Right?
No, yeah, no. I already had a situation like that when I went to Pasadena. I was just walking around. I had a GoPro strapped to my chest.
Yeah,
and I was just walking around because I knew I was gonna meet people that are subscribed to the channel, and I did, and it felt amazing, and gave everybody the time of day, a nice little conversation, and I met a lot of cool people at Pasadena. So I'm excited for Nats. It's gonna be. I know a lot more people.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll all see each other there. So that's cool stuff, man.
Yeah. It's yeah, I'm still looking for a little spoon again for my room. So I might just eat the whole cost. It's fine.
All right, guys. All right, everybody. Kek is looking for a little spoon. If you watched it, hit him up on his DM.
No, I'm the little spoon. So that's yeah.
Sorry,
looking for a big one.
Yeah, I'm just fucking around. Anyway, okay, yeah. This does a really wholesome talk, guys. I love the jump into actually national. It's a good segue. January 25th. That's why I'm going to be there. It's like the 28th, 29th. It's a 2-day event. I'm assuming it's a 12-round Swiss that's going to go into
12 rounds.
They even said the format? Like, is there a top cut?
They haven't said.
You're kidding me.
Why 12 rounds?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
Like 9 rounds or something.
I think there's gonna be no top cut. I mean, over here there's no top cut. It's just that's what I'm thinking. They haven't said, so we'll see.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna sue Bondi. Well, that guy
really
that sued Bondi.
Agree with that decision, honestly. I really think to find out like who the best player is, you really need to have a top cut.
Listen,
you know,
it's a benefit for everybody, and it only takes 2 judges' time. That's it. You know, and it's a benefit of everybody.
It's a 2-day event.
Yeah. When I say 12 rounds, I assume there's 2,500 players, and that would be, I think, 12 rounds. Might be 13. No, 12 rounds.
It's 2,500 players. Yeah,
because 500's 9 players. 10 rounds is 1,000.
That is insane.
Oh wait, it might be 13 rounds. Yeah,
13,
maybe. Yeah, 13. Yeah, it might be 13 rounds. We'll just show up there and we're like, this is kind of, you know, it's, and I'm assuming they'll have like, I don't know if they'll have side events because there's other events going on, like, you know, there's other Digimon, Dragon Ball.
I think there's 5 side. There's one side event at 5 different times. I think they announced the side events.
Yeah, so like just try to have fun with it. That's the biggest thing. That's my biggest thing. All of us have a 2-round buy, which is is a meta within itself already. A 2-round buy. So like you can just bring whatever you want.
In the grand scheme of things, what's 2 rounds out of like 13?
A lot. It's more than 10%. It's more than 10%,
bro.
It's more than 10%.
I want to see that Sokka player after like the 12th round and see how dead they are. Like,
I mean, the first day is probably only going to be like 9 rounds at the 8 rounds. They only will do like 8 rounds max on one day, and then they'll do everything the rest of the next day. And that's the funny thing in Pasadena, dude. People that did really good, they were late for their first round the next morning. And all I can really do is blame themselves, right, for that. But like they were late for the next day, and like they missed like a round loss, and so that adds
I'm not gonna lie.
Some bullshit to it, right? So.
I heard it was a shit show. I'm not gonna lie. Like from the people that I know that have went, because I missed it. I was on a cruise during that time. I was so sad, bro.
It wasn't a shit show.
I was like in the middle of the ocean in a boat. Like,
let's see here. Here they had a couple things that went wrong. Right?
Yeah.
They started like 30 minutes late. I don't know why. Like people already signed up. They were looking to get people more signed up because there's like the 1,500 cap, the 1,377 people player in there, right? Something like less than 1,400 player. But like stuff going on. They were just kind of standing around. So that took a long time to get started. The tournament itself, I don't think had any issues. I didn't hear any like judge calls that were crazy. People went to time a lot because that format was really slow with no Whitebeard going on. No Whitebeard. Whitebeard's fast deck, right? So people went to time a lot, and then me personally, I went and just did side events after I went X2, unfortunately. So that's just what I did. So yeah, I won like 3. I told you I won like 3 boxes out of 5 side events.
Dude, that's
so
amazing,
I went ham on side events. So
paid for that trip.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, other than that, it's just normal California bullshit where like the food at the place sucks. It's way too expensive. You have to like go down the street to actually get like food that's, you know, worth its meat. And yeah.
Man. I mean, the truth is, like, the tournament itself is like a competition. It's like who can last the longest. It's like a competition of stamina, you know?
I think so. Like, I wish it wasn't like that, but like, it's on people to be prepared for a long tournament. It's not hard to prepare yourself, you know, in your mind, in your body, you know, what comes out of your body, right? You know, everyone gets those like first round bubble guts. So it's just
I think that's just you, dude.
Oh, really?
No, yeah, it's definitely it's a different story. Offline events, because I mean, Pasadena was my first one, and it was just like I didn't know what to expect, and so I was definitely unprepared. Not enough water, not enough food. Had to pay them $6 waters at the venue just to, you know, stay afloat.
Damn.
But it was a good tournament. I know what to expect now for nationals coming up. So I definitely know I need to prepare a lot better.
Another video idea. A national prep guide. I actually have a video on that, but like, there you go. National.
Oh, Matt's prep guide.
Yeah.
I like
well,
it.
yeah. I
Drink
also have like
sleep.
I had a ton of video, but it's a way to get a lot of people are gonna be flying in. It's the cheapest way to get from LA to where you need to go, or sorry, from LAX to where you need to go, and you could spend $80 on an Uber, or you can pay $2.50 on like the red line and like get there like 30 minutes like later, you know, and that's pretty good, you know. So
that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, fly away bus, you guys. That's your best friend.
No, not for this one. For Pasadena, it was.
Oh, because it's in Pasadena.
Because this one's LAX, so it's take the red line and then take the silver line or the white line. I
Yeah,
don't remember.
listen. Yeah,
I did the research before. I'm gonna have to add everybody again in this whole post on what to do. But obviously, you guys are LA natives, so that's the thing. Everyone flying in from like, you know, Florida is gonna be all.
Oh my
like,
God, you guys
awakening.
don't even know. I gotta drive a whole 15 miles. It's so much work, and I gotta pay for parking, and then I gotta be there early, and
then all your friends will bug you for a ride, and yeah.
I'm driving down. It's like 5 hours for me. 5 hour drive.
Yeah, and then
you driving south? You driving down?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's a drive.
Yeah, but it's nice because we're leaving early. We're leaving on a Thursday morning.
You get in a room.
Just having the car. What happened?
You guys get in a room for Saturday to Sunday?
No, we have an Airbnb. All the NorCal boys. It's like 14 of us. We got a nice Airbnb.
Jesus.
Oh,
damn.
oh.
Yeah. Damn.
We do that just so we could practice as well, right? So many people, so many good players were practicing before.
There are. I already know a couple of houses that are showing up there a week early. Like really, you know, high level players. They're showing up a week early just to do practicing, right? For that.
Smart.
So that's gonna be really fun to watch and see how that goes for all them. So
yeah, man. Anyone looking for a little spoon?
Yeah, mine's the hotel room the on the 25th. But like, you know, I know people that are going there a week early that are playing in a specific house just to practice, right?
Yeah.
Because it should be kind of it's your job, right? This is it's a lot of money on the line. You know, it's kind of a small investment, and some of these players or some of these TOs, you know, they'll like have free lodging, but you have to pay them like 10% of like whatever you earn from the tournament.
Yeah, imagine like how much money you would make if you got top 8. It's like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Well, they announced the prizings. Top 64 is good. Oh, dude, and that makes it so more frustrating, dude. Why is there no top cut? Like, you don't think there's gonna be top cut? Like,
Evan said, we don't know, but the way it's looking, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good. It's
it's
bizarre.
TCG has historically hasn't really done top cut.
No, they don't.
As of late, they've done just Swiss.
Yeah,
Pasadena, no top cut,
and they defer to saying it's because of Bondi, but like,
but really, I don't think so though, because I went to
we'll make our own top cut.
Yeah, I went to Cancun. They did top cut.
Yeah, well,
and it was great.
That's different. It's a different TO, right? It really,
Yeah.
I
it comes down
believe
to the
it's 100% up to TL, but maybe Bondi's recommendation is no top cut.
Yeah.
And it's all a money game. And it's
Oh,
kind
is
of
that right?
bizarre why
Mhm.
that is. So, you know, why
Is
it
it
is a money
though?
game.
It's all about the money, man.
Yeah, people were saying like people that went to Cancun that the production was amazing, and over here we don't
my
have
God.
those resources
Yeah.
for some reason. I'm not sure if it's just there's no one in that position to make stuff like that. But over there in
Well,
Cancun,
or
from the
more
pictures,
like-
it looked amazing. The production from the stream was
I
really
mean,
well
yeah,
done.
it
was
takes
nice.
it
So
takes
good.
2 people and a couple posters in a high school afternoon. You know,
Dude, it
like
was so fucking
a
good. They
student
gave
body could do
everybody
a
like
better job than.
Nami. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. A student body from a high school could do a better job than everything else besides Mexico. The Mexico ones, yeah, were crazy. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I will be like committing. I'm committed going to any like Mexican like ran event from now on because it was so. Dude, they gave everybody like a Nami like pendant with your
Dude.
name on it. Like, you know, the alt Nami. It's like a
Uh-huh.
card with her picture on it with your name on it, and you like just wear it. And then like they have like a grand stage with like 2 giant screens, and people's faces are on each screen, and then they have the table in the middle with the
Oh my
TOs, and they're
God.
dressed up as like the
So-
admirals.
so they're like trying.
It was
You're saying
amazing.
they're trying.
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
It was,
they're
it was
trying.
honestly
Oh,
like,
wow, they put in effort.
Yeah, no.
Holy shit, that's so
Beautiful.
good.
yeah, highly recommend. If you guys haven't gone, check it out. But yeah, sorry, I went off on a
No,
tangent.
I think that's fine. Yeah, little Mexican tangent. You know, just
Oh, Mexican
it's
tangent.
okay.
Yeah, but going back to Nats though, like, do you guys have any idea how much these Kaidos are gonna go for? Like, any guesses?
Oh,
The first place, probably like 30K, 20 to 30K, and then the other one's just slightly below
Yeah,
that, probably like
what about that
5K.
unprinted sheet?
Oh,
That's-
that's probably like
God.
10K
That's
easily.
stupid. Yeah.
I'm
Dude,
thinking like 10, 15.
I really think that Kaido is gonna go for like 100 plus, man.
No.
Okay, BGS
Come
10,
on, man.
winner Kaido, first place, BGS 10. You don't think it's gonna go for like 100K?
BGS 10 Black Label,
Yeah.
maybe like 70.
I don't
'Cause
know, dude.
didn't,
I'm making up
didn't a
numbers if I
Luffy
say
just sell
anything.
for like 90K. I don't know if it was a meme
Yeah.
or not, but
I'll
I
trade
saw
it for a
everywhere on
Manga
Facebook.
Soja King. So
But you have to understand. And the reason I can
Oh my
like give you
God.
guys like these predictions on the pricing is
yeah.
the card in Asia, first place Luffy sold for like 32,000, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
And so, but their first place card is a lot different from our first place card. Our first
Yeah.
place card is also getting one for second place and third place. So
Mhm.
there's 3 Kaidos. Obviously, they're a little different.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
over there, their first place only got that one Luffy, right? So
Yeah.
it has a little bit more value.
Yeah.
But then we have that separation of NA versus East, like the cards.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying like the Kaido will probably go around what that Luffy is, maybe a little
30K.
under, maybe a little more. So it's like
Mhm.
30,000, 25.
Also, we got to remember that was like, I don't know when this event happened, when it was sold, but that was like before like the One Piece boom that just happened in like the last month where everything just freaking skyrocketed.
Mhm.
I bet
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that is
guy
true.
that sold that Luffy is like kicking himself now. That Luffy's probably worth
A little
a
more
lot
now.
of money right
Yeah.
now.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I mean,
so
there's
hard
so
for
much
him.
money.
You know, just
I know, man. It's 30K. What are we gonna
oh
do?
man, I only got 30K. I only got
cry in my
I
brand
only
new
got
car.
$300 for like one of my freaking Borsalinos and Kuzans, like that was now I'm
thing.
kicking myself,
Yeah,
Me
no,
too,
I
man.
sold my brother one Borsalino and Kuzan. I sold both of them for like 700-ish,
Yeah.
750.
And then
Yeah.
we're like, at the time, we're like laughing, like, bro, dude, we're good. Now we're like,
biggest
oh
regret,
shit,
dude.
the fuck, people made money off of me. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I sold the Admiral playset for $12.50, like literally
Yeah.
4 months ago.
Well, yeah. In the
That
time,
was-
I said, "Oh, that's pretty good, bro." We said that was like good. That's really good. At the time,
I know.
What
Remember?
did
But now, like one Kuzan is
Yeah.
like $12.50.
I do want
Oh,
to say there is a Mihawk coming out. I do want to bring up this before. Did you see that 9-cost Mihawk coming out next set?
Oh yeah,
It looks beautiful.
yes, that card's gonna
It's-
go for money.
It's in Asia right now. It looks beautiful. It's just a 9-cost Mihawk. It looks beautiful. The 9-cost blue Mihawk, the one we love. Oh yeah, we can find it. We'll find it for you. Okay.
Mihawk.
Yeah. Ernesto, if you want to as well, I can't pull it up because I'm.
What-
No,
what
I've
is
seen
it?
it. I know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about.
I don't know if you wanted to show them, but if you can find it. He
Oh,
had it
yeah,
in his
I don't
last video. Go to the end of the video. How about that? His last Wraith
Oh,
Talks
all
last
right,
video.
guys. Let me go
But
on.
I think that one's good. I don't know what like placing that is, if that's like first or second, but those are hot. Like those look so good, right? Any card that looks
Love
good and
that.
has that kind of that's a husbando tax, unfortunately, and
There's not
yeah.
many of those in this game, but
I guess I'm thinking, is there
I would say
anything
the other
before we talk too much about like market and stuff like that? Because it seems like you are interested in that, Ernesto, a little bit. I do want to say about National. So that many rounds, 2-day event. We don't know if there's top cut or not. Pricing will shake out. People will be mad regardless if there is whatever or whatnot. And but hopefully, you know, we do good and we don't have to complain, right? That's the goal, right? And get to meet people and just have fun. So that's the major goal, and stakes will be high. I feel like I do want to say this meta. I kind of predicted this before. I don't think this meta is very fun. Just fun wise, fun level. I'm talking about fun level.
Fun level is definitely
Fun level's down.
It's a little down. I'd agree. I think the fun levels will come back up next set for sure. Just from what we're seeing already.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but fun
next
level.
set, what are you guys excited about for next set?
I think people just want Yamato. Like that Yamato is good.
Yeah,
the Yamato deck is so busted. Like it's so free. I think it's gonna be a good deck to play at the very start of the season or of the set. But I'm excited for the diversity. I've seen so many decks starting to win. It's like you can choose what you want to play. Honestly.
Yeah, like
I'm excited for that black yellow Luffy.
People show Queen, those weird Luffy cards. You know, Whitebeard's still in the mix. Anything that can play the Gecko Moria or Rebecca, so any black deck is, overtuned a little too strong. And it seems like they're in favor of just not restricting or banning any cards any longer. Even though, people are saying, that like Rebecca's a little too strong, but people are winning without the Rebecca now. So it's kind of
right.
Yeah. What do you think, Ernesto?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I did a whole video on the meta in the East, and so the cards, it's simple. Moria is way too good, and so that is propelling all these black decks to be at the top of the tier list because of that one card. Sakazuki was already good, but like mono black Moria leader, the 8 Costco Moria is just too good, and then comboing that off of Rebecca makes it just like high, even better, right? And so I'm interested in Perona though. Personally, I feel like being able to run my 10 cost Dofis is going to be amazing for me.
Yeah,
but we'll see what I end up on. Yeah, no, I think I think the 8 cost Moria is just too good, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very polarizing, and I think it's one of the reasons why black is such a powerful color. But going back to this format, actually, to its credit, at least we have some kind of like triangle format going on. It's much better than what we had in like OPO2 format, where like literally everybody and their mother was like playing Newgate.
What's the triangle, if I can ask?
It's funny that you asked that question, because I kind of had that mentality still from like the beginning of the format, right? Everybody was saying like, okay, the best decks this format. At first it was like Ploofy #1 deck, right? And then we kind of started to develop, and people were like, okay, now it's like Saka, Ploofy, and Enel, and that's kind of like the triangle. And that's kind of what I'm referring to. But now that you mention it, here in LA, I'll be honest, man, it's like it's now just become like
Saka City.
Saka, Enel, and then like Luffy a little bit. Like Luffy kind of fell off. I don't know how it is in your guys' format. But that's how it is in my.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was referring to. You said it perfectly. Before, when the set first started, especially for Japan and in the East, it was Enel beats Sakazuki, Sakazuki beats Ploofy, Ploofy beats Enel, right? The triangle. But I think that was heavily underexplored because the meta was so fresh. And so now, as the meta developed, and we know Sakazuki is, a half tier above everything else, I think Ploofy gets destroyed by Sakazuki. Ploofy does destroy Enel and Katakuri, right? But then Enel doesn't beat Sakazuki as free as people expected to or think, right? So I play Enel, and I've played the best of the best Sakazukis, and it's more towards 50-50. Sometimes I even like to say that Saka has the slight edge just because it can see its cards more consistently. Yeah, that's basically where the meta is at right now.
Yeah, it's tough. As an Enel player, I get it, man. Like to beat a Saka player, it's so important for you to like win the die roll. Just taking second away is such a big deal. But also, it's actually not that bad to go first. If you see your curve and you get the 7-drop Enel, which is like so important in that matchup. Like there's two key cards, and I said this in the video before. Like you gotta see the Ohm, which is so important, and you gotta see the 7-drop Enel. And if you can do that, you have a solid chance of like winning that matchup.
Yeah.
But if 100%. They get to like their 10 Dawn and they have like 2 blockers and 2 life and they play the 10 drop,
it's over.
Oh man. Good luck. Dude. That's where things just go downhill. You just pray to God.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but that's his meta. All Sakazuki and El Kata, and then we'll sprinkle in Ploofy, which like Keck was saying is not the best, right?
Yeah. I gotta say Purple Luffy, it does have a little bit of a easier factor. And just like, oh, they can be happy. A lot of Purple Love players can be happy. Just be like, oh, well, I just didn't draw what I needed against this. You know, even against Sakazuki, like if you go first and you see a 4-cost 6K and they don't curve out a Borsalino, right? And you're able to play down if you see any 4-cost 6K and then it instantly into a what's that card that removes 5-cost? Poly. If you see Poly right into that curve, like you're just it's like Kaido all over again. You curve into a god curve. That is exactly what Purple Luffy is trying to do, and it's the exact same thing in my opinion. And if they see that, but the opponent sees a specific, Borsalino card, a 4-cost that doesn't get removed, then they probably lose, right? Then they probably lose. But if they don't see it, then they probably win. And they can make that excuse and be like, okay, after a 13-round tournament, I'm probably going to be more happy playing this. And think about this: how many people are not going to be playing Sakazuki in the tournament because they don't want to deal with that 13 rounds of math and dealing with all that, even though it's obviously, it's probably the most financial decision, to master Sakazuki and play that. But like,
financial decision, I don't know about that one.
Financial.
I mean, personally, me. I mean, I started off playing Sakazuki for about like 3 weeks, getting to start learning it, started playing it, and then it was about the same time my brother did as well. We started playing mirrors, and I couldn't beat him. I'm like, yep, I'm switching. Your Bridgers is better than me.
Yeah, exactly. And then like if you're able to maybe take advantage of that and playing more confusing decks that they don't really know what they're going to be doing, right? Like, I don't really know how am I supposed to face Queen? How am I supposed to face like a really good Enel, right? Yeah. When they're really all practicing for specific things. They can practice for everything, you don't know what these things are going through. Like we said, like Ernesto said, like you go into these tournaments, they're not prepared, physically, mentally, in any way, shape, or form, and you can kind of, I would say, you can get lucky. With the players you're facing. I think you need to get lucky to do well. You need to get lucky with who you face, and
it's a combination. I think of the two factors. You have to be a good player. You have to get lucky because in this game, it's
getting lucky
so,
can mean a lot of things.
Matchup dependent. It's so draw dependent. It's so player dependent. There's so many different elements to this game that you just have to be that guy that just hit everything at the very peak, and then with any chance,
and you dodged all the super pros that just don't mess up, right?
Yeah, play you be the one Zoro deck that hit all Sakazukis,
or you face,
and then won the whole tournament,
or you faced against Nicky Goldman, but for some reason he actually bricked that game, stuff like that, right?
It's definitely.
He's bricked on stream before. You want to ask for hey, can I get on stream? Can I get on stream? They're gonna brick. They're gonna brick if they're on stream. They're gonna brick him up on stream. I try to ask for stream now all the time because I'm like, can I just get on stream, please? Because they're gonna get nervous and they're gonna totally mess up, and it's so funny. I try to play into that, right? A little bit.
Like when I won my regional, I watched back and edited all the videos of every match, and so I saw the games multiple times over. I made one mistake in that whole run. I was just on it. I was playing really efficiently, and then on top of that, I saw no blue decks. That current Dofi list that I was running loses to Croc, loses to Rebecca. Has a harder time to win against Queen. So I saw no blue decks, and that's the luck right there, right?
Yeah.
Just being
And then
my deck was tech for all red.
I think you were saying Katakuri is also difficult, but they didn't see it either, right? Like
Yeah. So
like,
it was like the categories I saw was like they weren't seeing their 10, I wasn't seeing my 10, but I was just having a better curve.
Yeah, and then you played really well against like Whitebeards, which was impressive. So
Yeah, I mean that's a great point there. Is like play to the meta, man. We already know like this Nats tournament is gonna have a boatload of Sakazukis. There's gonna be so many of theirs.
Easily a third.
How many people are gonna switch? Like maybe like
100%.
last week, last minute. Like I could see people switching to what they're used to. Like because think about how many people qualified without Sakazuki, right? Like how many people qualified with Whitebeard? How many people qualified with Law, right? And so
these comfort decks are scary to play against.
I think it's a really good bait to get people into doing that too, playing those kind of bait decks, right? Like, hey, play what you're good at, not what's good, and then switch it up. I think I'm sticking with Queen, by the way, just to let the viewers and you guys know.
Props to you, dude. Yeah. I tried to make Queen.
If I lose enough, I probably won't. If I lose too much.
I couldn't make it work, man. I couldn't make it work. It's just so rough into Saka. Like I cannot stick a body and heal my life. You know, it's rough, man. So I definitely give you props for that, bro. But yeah, it's definitely it's gonna be a long one, boys. Hopefully we all do well and there's no friendly fire. But
have you guys already decided on your deck? Are you like in between like a couple options? Leaving it up there.
I'm in between like two options right now.
Or what? Like an alternate deck to play?
No. Just I'm playing Enel. I just don't know what variation I want to run. I'm testing two right now. I'm testing two really good ones. But I'm not too confident in picking one just yet. So I'm just testing more.
I feel you, dude. I'm like I'm cooking Enel right now. I'm like I think I'm almost there. I have like maybe like 4 slots that I'm like.
That might be. I think that might be like a hyper pick. Like all of a sudden, that might be like the second most popular deck being played that day. You know,
no.
Like I mean, I think there's a trend that happens, and people get on that trend of Enel being the thing. You know, like that's the trend right now. Just looking at you two,
it's the easier of the two.
I'm happy, and I want that to happen. Honestly,
sorry. What was that?
I said I'm happy that people are switching onto Enel, and like I would prefer Enel to be the most played deck because I'm good into the mirror. I know what I'm doing in the mirror. I'm confident in the mirror. This is like the first time I'm ever like confident in the mirror. Like usually I have a terrible track record of mirror matches, but like with Enel it's a little different. I'm actually confident, so I'm like, okay, if people play Enel, I mean that's better for me.
Man, I feel like the mirror is so degenerate though.
Yeah. ACOS.
Who sees the most big bodies? Like, let's see.
I mean,
let's count.
Most mirrors are that way. Like, whoever draws better and makes the least amount of mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when, it's really funny. I kind of bring this up. You got your thing through Grape Dofi. Josh and I got our thing through Blue Dofi. So like we're all kind of Dofi heads in a way, right? Yeah. And so Josh and I, we actually had a game, Blue Dofi versus Blue Dofi in a side event, and I ended up just drawing better. That ended up being what
you were distracting the shit out of me because I was trying to do my turn. You're talking to me the whole time.
Do you think that matters? Has that ever gotten to you guys before? Like someone talking to you, getting in your head? Really?
And that's definitely something I need to work on. Like I'd be like, it's gotta be.
One time I was versing an opponent, and he was asking me for my hand size at the start and end of every turn. I was like, we're at the end game, and he's like, how many cards in hand? Like I haven't even drawn. I haven't even got my dawn. I'm like, give me a sec. I have to think about my turn. I was like, I'll I was like, and he was like, how many cards? And I'd put my cards down, and like in a row, you could see them clearly. I was like, 4 cards. He'd be like, how many cards do you have? I'm like,
it's a real thing, man. People do that.
But besides that, usually
off your game. I'm not saying Kek does this, but Kek just loves to talk. So for me, I'm like,
I talk my whole turn out. I'm like, oh man, I do this, do that. Okay, here you go.
Like,
I'll leave 2 Dawn up. I'll leave 2 Dawn up.
I've legit like spoken to people that tell me they do this to like knock people off their game, and it works.
For me, it's fun. I don't really try to knock people off their game, but people try to act like they do get knocked off of their game with it, right? But usually you're used to playing against bots. They're just like, oh yeah, good luck, have fun, bro.
Like the sim players. You always know you're playing a sim player when they come to you and they're like, "How do we decide who goes first?" And I'm just like,
yeah,
"Oh, you play the sim."
Actually, I do want to tell. There are some tips too about that as well. Did you know for mulligans, who decides who mulligans first?
The person that won the dice roll.
Yeah, the person who wins the dice roll. They choose who goes first, right?
Yes.
But after that, let's say I choose to go. Let's say I win the dice roll. I choose to go second. I have to mulligan second.
It's whoever goes first.
Yeah, it's whoever goes first. I think that's not in the rule book, but it's kind of an unofficial rule because it's from other card games.
It's KEK's rule.
Yeah, and I ask people all that because that matters a lot, right?
Yeah, because you legit have people like waiting, right? Like they're waiting for you to like decide.
Mulligan chicken, yeah,
right. And then they mull too. Like, okay, his head is bad, so I'm gonna mull too.
Well, if they mulligan so fast, then it tells you a lot. Or I've had games before where like I had like, oh, this is a kind of a high rolling hand, but it's not very consistent. And I had a yellow katakuri. They snap kept their hand. They kept their hand so fast. I'm like, okay, that means against queen, he probably has a bunch of 10 mobs.
Like, oh, this guy has like 4 10 mobs.
Yeah,
in hand.
and I'm like, okay, well, how do I win this? Well, how do I win this game knowing they have at least 1 or 2? And so I just think to myself, okay,
like, where's my red rocks?
Well, I'm like looking at my hand. I'm like, I have a Yamato in here. I think I'm gonna go the stupid route of like getting them like a bunch of life and then like Yamatoing their shit. And then I did that. I won the game. Like that's and I had that helped me decide on certain things. And I was so close to mulliganing. I would have mulliganed most of the time, but because he snap kept so fast, it just seemed way too strong that I'm like, this hand I have is high rolly. I want something more consistent. Let's go for the high roll, and that worked out. So that's a small tip.
I
That's
love that.
a little silly, but yeah. Jumping into like, I guess you're talking about sim. There's this, these ranked sims have been coming up, and it's not like a new idea, right? People have thought about doing a ranked since the game came out, right? So it's not original, and there was somebody I know, they made a bot and they got, something kind of going. They kind of asked me about it. The hard thing is there was no way to monetize it. So we didn't find it was worth it hosting a server, promoting it. But some guy did promote it this last couple weeks and that got a lot of traction. I think people were jumping on that. I personally don't play the sim very often at all. Did you guys have any experience with that ranked sim league?
Yeah, I did for sure. There's 2 servers right now out, both amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of players in both. If you want to play ranked, it just ups the quality of your sim matches. So if you have a little bit of downtime and you want to practice, get like good efficient practice for like future tournaments, whatever it is, or you just want to get better, it definitely ups the quality of just your regular sim match. The players you're gonna get queued into are gonna be of better quality. They're
not gonna just
insta quit. I think that helps.
Right.
And they're not going to just insta quit. And I think that helps a lot for the community, to be honest. It's hard to monetize a rank system. Like if you put people in a situation where they have to pay for a rank system, a lot of people are not going to want to do that. Right. So, but I think it is a good avenue to just be able to have a good player base that loves the rank sim. And then once you get enough people, you can advertise your channel, you can advertise different things, and you can monetize in different ways. It doesn't always have to be just instantly directly just from money from people, right? So
they're monetizing. They're going to be monetizing one of them through tournaments, and you don't have to do the tournament. You don't have to, but they're like, hey, this card is going to be up. You pay X amount of money. Whoever wins the tournament gets this card. And just know that the profit from that goes to benefiting the server because it pays for things like bots, and I don't know how the old one was, but people. That's why why would anybody make a second one? It's just they didn't like who was running the first one or how it was being run, anything like that. So they made another one, regardless of that goes, and that one's actually releasing. It's already been out, but they're resetting the ladder. And they're making it, trying to make as much hype as possible for 5 p.m. Eastern today on January 5th.
I think it's a start of something great, right? I mean, obviously it's still in its infancy. There's a lot of things that they can do to make it better, like maybe integrate into the sim a little bit more. You know what I mean? So we're not having to alternate between Discord and and then going on the sim and all that.
It's kind of jank, but it's the least amount of jank there. It could actually
Right.
you queue into a thing, you get into a channel, and you talk to the person.
It's a start of something potentially like that could be great. Like, and kudos to the people working on this, and keep up the good work, man. I think they're doing God's work, dude. I'm personally really stoked to hear that there's a lot of like great players on there now, and I think we need better players to compete with on the sim, because not everybody has a locals, right? Like, for example, he plays online all the time. He does have a local, but he prefers to play at home, and that's totally fine. And I think just having that availability just grows the audience more, and the more people playing this game, the longer it goes on. So I'm all about it. Love it.
Going to what you were saying about how we could have like a rank system integrated into the sim. I think that's the dream goal, honestly. Yeah, a button where you can click ranked and then have the tier systems and. But I did actually. Yeah, I have talked to Batsu a little bit about that, and it's just difficult to do because the way the sim is set up now, it's through client to client, and so the whole sim would need a whole recode, which is a lot of work. And Batsu's just one guy. I know he has his team, but it's just right now it's just not something that's plausible.
Yeah, understandably, I think it's doable, but it's going to cost money, right? And where's that money coming from? We're not selling League of Legends skins here. We
need a one-piece billionaire to invest on the sim, monetize somehow.
I mean, it's really easy. Like
one-piece philanthropist.
It's nothing new. People know how to make money through like things like skins, bringing values, that kind of artificial value where people don't mind supporting the game. People didn't mind buying skins on League because it kind of supports the game, right? The game was free.
You can make your character look cool.
Game was free, right? So I'm sure we've been victim of spending thousands of dollars on League of Legends, but
like do an alternate skin, like alternate art on your cards. Hey,
no, I think they have stuff like that. It's just kind of weird, and it's only on their client. It's not like on the same client, and generally we just have to kind of do this, third party system for now, because it's all a social system for fun anyway. So if you were like dishonest, you can obviously do whatever you want. You could probably even have 10 guys behind you. Oh, I guess you can already do that already. People, it's really funny. You go into like Cross's Discord and there's like 10 people watching him play a game. I'm assuming it's ranked, and they're like, hey, do this, do that. And, obviously the guy's a good player, but the guy's just, it's almost like educational for people to like just to bullshit about what the fuck's going on in the game. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the servers are a step in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. It's unfortunate to hear that Batsu saying that, though. It kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but
and he kind of wants to keep it on to a little bit of the low. But I think it's just a money thing, right? Like,
I mean, people have been hounding him like make rank, but it's just a lot of time and money, and he's a busy guy. He has things going on, and just
he has a day job. I'm assuming this can't be his sole
day job.
Yeah,
he has a kid,
he has
but and it's hard in a game where it's like he didn't like produce One Piece, right? It's just like a simulator. That's what's the sim, right?
Yeah.
So like it's basically it'd be like donations to him, and it's hard to monetize that and get his name out there, but people love Batsu. Like, people play this game. Everybody who plays sim knows who Batsu is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think anyone has anything bad to say about Batsu.
No, he's amazing. Like, shout out to him, honestly.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Yeah. I'm super grateful for the sim, and he's
hella grateful.
Really
cool
but
person. Like it could be, I always say there could be one of those things where like, oh, I have a GoFundMe, guys, for some rent, and people would do that. They would actually throw that at him because they want to be appreciative for him, right? So
for your local Batsu folks, we need him to keep playing.
We'll talk about it. Just we're not supporting the sim, we're supporting Batsu. Okay, that's what this is about, right? So it's just kind of funny. We have to do things in awkward ways because of how copyright and monetization goes, right? So that's hard. It's super hard. Like it's kind of weird. How are people making money on this content? Like I'm not making money because I'm selling One Piece. Bondi isn't paying me. It's people paying Will. Will pays me because people want to get better at the game, right? So it's super bizarre when you think about it like that, in that way. But Yeah. So
Yeah, I
let me
mean,
see.
at the end of the day, we all do this thing because we love it so much, right? I mean, most people play this game not because they're here to make money. They're here to,
Some people.
enjoy the game that they love,
Dude,
man.
it's
I
an
don't know. I'm a
incentive. It's
purist.
such a
I
big
love this game.
incentive. I know. The
Yeah.
thing is, there's a group of people out there. Like, I'm gotta say, I probably stuck in the game a little bit longer because the first hook of like selling some of those like stupid ass promos in OPO1. And I was like, wait a minute, this is like $20. I just fucking participated. This wasn't even like a winner card. This is at a local,
Right.
And I'm like, this is stupid. Like, it's a financial decision to go to locals. Like a good
Yes.
financial decision just to go to locals.
There's definitely a monetary incentive to play this game.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking anyone who's playing it for the money,
For
but
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what propels me forward is my love for the actual card game. Even though
Yeah.
I didn't actually watch One Piece in the beginning, but
Yeah. How
I'm
far are
happy
you
to
now?
say I am all caught up now.
How far are you
Huh?
now? How far are you now in the
I'm
one
caught up.
in the anime?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm caught up on the anime.
Dude.
I am watching like spoilers for the manga because I don't want to read the manga. I'm not a manga reader, So I
And
just watch like a YouTube
And
video.
then Ernesto hasn't watched any One Piece yet or read the manga yet. He wants. I think he wants to make content out of
get
it.
him to watch someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start reading it and doing like I don't know if I'll do chapter reviews, but arc reviews. I'll read an arc, review the arc, and then go from there.
I
But
will
yeah,
say it's a lot faster if you read it, like insanely, because there's so much filler in the anime.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I gotta say, the anime has something really good about it. It is absolutely a lot of times where it's really funny. Like, this is a fucking cartoon, dude. Like, it is not an anime. This is a straight up cartoon that is absolutely hilarious in the early One Piece stages. And you don't understand like why it's funny because it's kind of they do stupid shit. Like, it's so funny because it's so stupid.
It might be a good time actually to start watching. Didn't they just announce that they were gonna like reboot the series?
They are. Yeah, I think the people
go.
that made Spy Family is going to be animating it.
They're doing it. Yeah, exciting stuff, man. Hopefully they keep the same voice cast because that's really what brings the characters to life, man. The voice cast for Japanese, oh man, top notch, man. They're the best.
They bring all the laughs. Do you even know all the laughs yet in One Piece, Ernesto? Like, every character has a distinct laugh in the comic I know. On that. And so everyone knows like Doflamingo is a super evil laugh. You probably researched Doflamingo now because you play him,
Yes.
But like, Perona is going to be everyone's favorite leader because she has like the funniest laugh, right? Like so
do the laugh when you do it.
Me? No, I'm good. It's
it's funny you say that because my partner Jim, he's super with whatever it was, he was always super into the lore. Like, I remember playing League of Legends and he knew all the lore. I'm like, bro, why?
League of Legends lore, pretty cringe. Yes.
I'm not that type of guy. I rarely go into lore for games, for anything. Like, even when I'm playing MMOs, I just go to the end game content. I want to do raids, I want to do dungeons, I want to PvP. That's kind of how I am. And so
I get it.
He watched One Piece and he knows all the lore, and so like we'll be recording and he'll just start like doing laughs of these characters or like telling me stuff. I'm just like it's crazy. Like, sometimes like and he knows a little bit of Japanese, so sometimes we'll be even just like we'll be even like just going over Japanese cards, and I'm like, what does he even do? And then he's telling me, so it's like it's super helpful honestly to have him. But as far as the laugh goes, he knows probably all of them and can replicate them. He's a good person. He's fun.
That's dope.
It's pretty good.
There's something I don't know if this is true or not, but the man I saw the YouTube video for, YouTube, seemed very convinced that the characters laugh who are devil fruit users actually like I don't know. There's a delineation between their power or the devil fruit they ate and their laugh. They laugh.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Look it up. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is, when you can spell out a laugh in One Piece, then it's impressive, Like, Did you have a favorite laugh in One Piece, Saucy?
Not my favorite, but one I remember most that kind of like bothered me almost is the giant, the giant that was like that brought up
Oh,
Nico.
Robin,
His laugh was
Saul.
like, or was it Robin? Yeah,
Yeah, Saul.
yeah. His laugh was so weird. I don't
I
can't
didn't
even
remember what it was. Yeah,
I don't remember. But I just remember like thinking like, okay, now y'all doing too much. This is crazy.
I like Foxy. You know, I actually like Foxy. Do you know Foxy from Foxy
Oh
Pirates?
yeah. What was his laugh?
Something like that.
Oh,
you know,
hated that.
like you get
I already hate
FEH. It's absolutely.
FEH.
That's why I like it. Stood out to me. You know, and like he'll be done laughing and he'll go and a fih. Like he'll just throw one more, like saying it like that
For good measures. For good measure.
for good measure. And so,
Yo, you look like you could cosplay Foxy. Actually, are you gonna play the leader when it comes on? Like cosplay?
Foxy leader. Yeah, that's ugly as fuck, bro. I have to get like
I
some.
feel like it's
He's
like,
like the ugliest character ever. You think? Don't you know? You know, I have people that already like wear afros for Afro Luffy. You know, or
ooh, yeah. You already know that leader's coming out.
Afro Luffy.
Afro Luffy. Mm-hmm.
Afro Luffy. Yeah. I honestly, guys are saying a bunch of characters. So I'm like,
okay,
don't know what
Luffy.
they're talking about.
Luffy was put on. Okay, spoiler. Okay,
Yeah,
Luffy put on an afro because Usopp gave him an afro because he had to do a boxing match with Foxy. Okay, but Foxy's like the biggest cheater there ever was. You know.
Yeah,
and,
honestly, it was a filler episode that kind of just like blew up. Like people love.
It's one of my favorite filler arcs, to be honest. Even though it's actually everyone's worst. They hate that. They hate the Foxy arc, but it's one of my favorite arcs.
I hate it, but you know, there's people that love it. It's for the memes.
Yeah.
It's for the memes.
I'm not caught up, by the way. I'm in Thriller Bark, so I'm not like other people where I'm stuck, you know, watching One Piece all day. So yeah.
I mean, I'm done with it now, so you can't say it about me.
Yeah, starting chapter 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, great. So we went over the anime, went over laughs, went over ranked gameplay, went over nationals, went over Ernesto. Anything you guys like on your mind to talk about? Anything you want to talk shit about? You know,
yeah. Real quick. I am entertaining the idea of starting a new channel for these One Piece reviews, kind of. And so, you know, hopefully I can go through with that. And then obviously, just for me, streams. I'm gonna hopefully start to stream a little bit more. Get that into the works.
Sure.
But yeah, other than that, I think we talked about a good amount of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's good. This is about an hour and a half podcast, a little less than that, and that's honestly we've gone over 3 hours before if it's gotten crazy. I'm sure we could talk about anything we want, like this game that happened there. But I think this is a good stopping point. So with that, just to give you guys some time to do some shout outs, I'll first let Saucy do any shout outs you want to do or plug your shit.
I mean, if you guys haven't heard of me already, I do have a channel on YouTube. It's not as cool as KEKFILA and AwakenedTCG, but Saucy Place 333. Come look me up. If y'all haven't checked me out, definitely check me out. I just released most recent content on Enel, and it's one of my best videos. It's a great guide, and I think you guys can learn a lot from it. If you do or don't play Enel, check that out. And besides that, you guys, you know, come say hi, man. See me at a local. You guys see me at a regional. Come say hi. I'm pretty chill guy. And let me know what you're about.
Ernesto?
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. My real name is Ernesto, but I go by Wraith. Wraith Talks. When I was younger, my favorite artist had a song called Wraith Talk, and I just took it, and I'm like, okay, I'll just add S at and I'm Wraith Talks. And then so that's the name I've stuck with. But yeah, I'm AwakenedTCG. I'm half of AwakenedTCG. I have my partner Jim. One of our recent videos, 2023 in your review. You can see him there. He's usually not on the channel behind the camera. That's usually me. I'm more of the face. He kind of just works behind the scenes, but amazing guy. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. We have everything at AwakenedTCG. Shout out to Cross. He's probably the first person I saw win a big tournament and made me strive to want to actually play more competitively and get better. And so, yeah, definitely shout out to Cross. You need to make more videos. And shout out to Eggman. I'm always going to shout Eggman out. He just does so much for the community. He has, you know, deck lists always on point, you know, a day after the tournament, all 16 deck lists, you know, with the pie charts made, everything. He just works so hard. So shout out to him. And then shout out to you, Kek, for this amazing podcast. I'm definitely going to be watching this over.
Nice, dude. Yeah. Nice little gym session podcast, or, you know, maybe when you're driving or going to sleep. So
yeah,
yeah,
with any luck,
and
you can get Heck in on it too.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And if you're still watching this, you're a real one. You've made it this far through the video. I first want to say, if you made it this far through the video, come up to me, okay? When we go to nationals, I have Loser Don. I will give you Loser Don if you ask me for a Loser Don, okay? You know, and then. Yeah, I made sure to get a lot of extra. So, you know, I may ask, like, are you subscribed? I'll double or nothing, you know, maybe, I don't know, some bullshit like that. But with that, I am working on this. I may do more stuff for my own channel, do more podcasts. It just kind of depends what I'm into at the time. And I do appreciate these two both coming on here today, making their Friday available to me. And I'll have my little Twitch streams. I actually have something else I'm working on. I'm making Warcraft videos. If you're into World of Warcraft, especially Season of Discovery, you'll see Keck Warcraft. You can just look that up, and I'm just making videos on there. It's kind of like my little passion thing I've just been spending most of my time on lately. And of course, shout out to Will to Win Gaming. I kind of just work with them doing guides. And if you've already seen those videos, you kind of already know what I kind of do, and it's kind of like a little more of a background. And thank you all so much for liking the video. Make sure you subscribe and share this with all your friends so they can get some insight on the backdrop of these amazing people that are on this podcast. And we're all gonna see you all in the next episode. Ciao.